Here we are in very hot France, 30 Celsius, and we are on the land that Napoleon Bonaparte and Josephine, his wife, enjoyed so much, Malmaison Castle. It's a really small castle, nothing pretentious, and it is really famous for the rose garden that we can now enjoy. However, many of the roses are also not happy with the global warming, so they look really tired and wilted. But let's observe a couple of them. And in this garden there are mostly such climbing roses. And by the way, there is one more garden that has ancient roses. However, you cannot expect the roses from Josephine time to still be alive because it's like centuries ago. So there are other roses, new roses that we can enjoy. So let's observe them. So as a true rose lover, she had all these rose types being painted on the ceiling of the room, and each is different. How cute all these roses here on the ceiling. And here we are at Malmaison Castle, the one of Empress Josephine of France, who was the wife of Napoleon Bonaparte I. And there are two rose gardens to this day. This one here has modern roses, and so they are still doing fine, although relatively scorched by the hot summer and the sun. And then there is one more garden with ancient roses. However, it's been a couple of 100 years, so we cannot expect to have the same roses that Josephine was collecting. However, thanks to her, so many roses were important to France. They mostly have such bushes, and many of them are climbing roses. And then there are such cute elements like this here. And yes, there are not so many and so fancy roses. It's kind of a natural feel. I'm happy that they have the nameplate so I can explain you which roses they are. And you notice again this habit that they have in France to create these trees, to graft roses atop like this, and to have a tree instead of them being on the ground. It's easier to observe them like that. But in general, even here they are really suffering with a very hot summer, 30 degrees Celsius, and no rain. And this garden features mostly Mayon roses. These here are really pretty. This is Jean Cocteau. And it's really wonderful that we have a nameplate. And then this is a stunning one. Raspberry lilac pink, bit purplish, with many petals. And then here we have a German rose. This is Music Hall by Tantau. And even in this scorching heat, if I show you, they are doing quite well. Really happy. Music Hall by Tantau. And yes, apparently they do not have only French roses, which is nice. They also have this German rose by Tantau. But anyway, this is the modern garden of Josephine, and you can see there are not so many. She used to have 200 different species of roses. And then this very pretty one is James Austin. It is also a shrub, but you can see that it's really low and also full of flowers. And then this one is Polka by Mayon. Grows very tall and bushy, as we can see here, but it also has a lot of buds, and I really like these borders that are so wavy and ruffled. Polka, and it's a climber. And And then we have this one with really many flowers. It is called Étendard by Robichon. However, they are so sun-scorched, as you can see. Also not good at taking this very hard, hot, global warming weather, like most of the roses here. Which is surprising to observe that not only in Japan, so this one is A Cappella by Tantao. So not only in Japan, they really have such a hard time with the very hot summers. And one thing, many of roses here in France, and even at the Parc de Bagatelle, are such trees. So it's interesting to see the habits they have in France to graft roses on top of such a rose tree and have them at a higher level in the garden. So in that sense, you can enjoy the ones down and up here on trees, which we rarely see in Japan. Then we have a black baccarat by Meillan. Lovely, but also dry and scorched. One more David Austin. So in that sense, they even have English roses here, which is nice to see that they are not sticking to French only roses in the garden of Malmaison Castle. And one more climber, Le Grand Oui by Adam, which was surely beautiful before it got burned by the sun. And then we have a cute Guillot rose, Georges Dungeon. And it's not suffering so much. It has this round shape with many colors. It kind of reminds of Baby Romantica, but actually really cute. But you can also notice the black spot disease. It also has many small thorns. Then we have Calicia by Werner Nowak. Orange, pink, smaller flowers with not so many petals, but it is cute, this orange and pink feel of the bush. And this one is also on a tree. Then you have Tranquility by David Austin. A lot of white, not happy. Yes, girls, this is not England. You're getting scorched and eaten by all kind of monsters. So yeah, interesting to see this, just like in Japan. The monsters are here eating. Then you have Lancôme by Delbar. And this side is really pretty. And we have here a variegated one, yellow and pink. Not so many petals. And this one is a climber, so it likes to grow high and has black spot disease. And yes, I'm now staying here in Chateau. Actually, this Malmaison garden also has such a table and chairs, so you could bring your own sandwich and eat here while they have a break, because actually the castle is closed from 12:30 to 1:30. They take a lunch break and the entire castle is closed down, but the garden is open. So now let me show you what we can enjoy here on roses. Another variegated climber, Brownie by Meillan, and it's rather cute with a darker red and just white stripes. Pink flash with really a lot of pink. Another climber, Sabrina by Meillan. So they have so many climbers here for some reason, although they are not posted on poles to climb. One André Eve called Alex Lutz. And it is cute, not so many petals. looks friendly but also suffering. And they have a couple of Rothschild roses, Noémie de Rothschild by Arbusson, really large. One more by André Eve, and it's called Julie Pietri. Cute small pink, everybody unhappy. And then the trademark André Eve by André Eve. Lovely pink. This one is not suffering so badly and also has someone inside feeding. And of course the king of climbers, Pierre de Ronsard, and indeed is so beautiful, this color gradation. And also it has somebody who had the lunch break inside. Can we show you to the people of the world? Because yes, actually bees do like to take a nap in flowers, so we disturbed her during nap time. One more La Perrière. It's called Jubilee La Perrière, and it's rather pretty. It has this nice shape here on the borders, serrated, slightly serrated, and so many petals given the fact that it's such a small plant. So and all of them look really good. And then if you wanted to see how the garden looks in ensemble, is something like this. Nothing too gorgeous. Of course, nothing compared to the rose gardens in Japan. It's rather natural. Here we have another Mayon called Alain Souchon. Also very dry. And again, such roses in trees that are so familiar in France. And actually they are really cute. This one is Mayon Décor Rouge. And then other roses just go wild here and take over the space. So just pink and white, looks very wild, but you see these are not suffering so much, so it looks really happy, friendly and cute. And here we have another tree that looks really happy compared with everyone else. It is a German rose by Tantau called Rhodie, and it even has a guest, a snail taking a break here. So this is by Tantau. And then we have this year Tequila, looking friendly and nice with a building behind them. Very hot summery. Tequila by Mayon. And like this year is called Tequila by Mayon. And in this heat, I'm telling you sincerely that I'm almost only buying beer because it's just so crazy hot that you need something sparkling, bitter and very, very cold. And then here we have a building. It has horses on it, horses on these medallions. So maybe it used to be something related to horses. Nowadays it's like an office and you buy souvenirs. Then we have Alfred Sisley, after the Alfred Sisley painter by Delbar, which is a slightly variegated rose. It's a bit hard to see because they also get scorched by the sun, which makes it difficult to see the variegation. And then Petit Trianon, by Mayon, also unhappy, but you can see the orange trees with a beautiful building behind. And so it is really moving to be able to walk here and to imagine Empress Josephine of France avidly collecting roses and having greenhouses and so many new species of plants that were introduced to the European world thanks to her collection. And this is the summer pavilion that also features many roses, especially old roses, but as you can see right now they are pretty much finished and there is not much that I can show you. At least I wish they had that very special rose that is a moss rose. It's called the Chateau de Napoleon, but we really do not have time to check them one by one, and the staff didn't know about it, so probably they do not have it. It is a moss rose with very interesting buds. But yes, now you have an impression of how the roses at Malmaison are displayed in their gardens. And probably you need to come here a little bit earlier to enjoy them. So May should be a best time to come. So mission accomplished. We got to see a lot of Napoleon and Josephine and understand more about their love story, and also got to see the gardens, even though the roses were rather modern ones. And so I declare the Malmaison mission accomplished.